What's going on, man? It's like something I dwell on a lot, man. It's like, you ever sit there and think about, man, man, how could you solve the problems of the world? You know what I'm saying? Things like that. Why are things the way they are? What's wrong with it? What's right about it? You know? And I mean, America, man, has generated enough wealth, man. It could be known as the land of the righteous, the land of the righteous people. You know what I'm saying? But it's not. It's really it's a den of thieves. You know what I'm saying? This house of prayer has been turned into the den of thieves, man, and murderers and cutthroats and connivers and deceivers. And straight up just like voodoo, man. It's straight like it's black magic. It's pimpery. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, why don't this is what it's like, literally, man. I kind of see things like Johnny Appleseed, man. And it's like,
Oh, like you were
to be free and wild, man. To be able to roam, man. That just listen. Free to be wild and free to roam doesn't mean uncivilized. It just means, you know what I'm saying. It's different kind of lifestyle. But I mean, literally, man. You can. I mean, it's like this. You can change landscapes, man, and it reflects what kind of people you are by these things. Like, imagine if someone came to America right now, say it was aliens, alien Terminators, and they said, "Fuck this, we're blacktopping every inch of this that we own, motherfucker, because it's ours, and we're gonna dump oil in all of the rivers and all the lakes because we like black." You know what I'm saying? And I mean, that's basically how people have this iron fist. You know what I'm saying, over the land, and it's not the land of the righteous. It's the land of the unrighteous. It's the land of the cutthroats. It's the land where you got to pay to stay. It's got to pay to play, pay to stay. Uh, if you want privacy, you got to pay him to stay away. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy like that, but I mean that's like the way it is, and when it should be, it's like, listen, when you love your neighbor, you allow him enough privacy that he can do whatever he needs to do, and you don't mess with him. You know what I'm saying? Just because you do that you do that just because it's and out of your sense of right. You know what I'm saying? You want to do unto others. You know what I'm saying? As them do unto you, and that's part of the whole game. The game frame is that people gotta re-recognize that and be like, man, I'm not gonna pimp on. I'm not gonna oppress. I'm not gonna con. I'm not gonna exploit. I'm not gonna take advantage of the people around me, and that's neighbors, far off, aliens, even foreigners, strangers. It says, like, there's one part of the Bible that says, "Be careful how you treat strangers. You may entertain angels unaware." You might have been got tested, man, and a lot of times angels get sent. And they might look like it might be like a bum on the side of the road, man, but you might be the only one who sees them. You know what I'm saying? And for instance, it was an angel testing you to see if there's any righteous men left. You know what I'm saying? Like, listen, I believe, I don't believe that everything is set in stone. I believe we can affect the outcome later. We do make a choice, and we do affect things, man. Kind of like that movie Back to the Future. You know what I'm saying? Where you affect things by stuff that happens. Or like in Abraham, when he said, he asked God, he said that you won't destroy Sodom and Gomorrah if I can find 50 righteous. God was like, sure, seek out. Couldn't find it. And then he kept trying to bargain with less and less, and eventually it's just like, man, look, what you're looking for, it doesn't exist there no more. You know what I'm saying? And basically, it's like, you got all these people out here, and they need to do something to do. I mean, why couldn't you just have them just make nurseries, man? Tree nurseries, forest nurseries, just where you have people growing trees. You know what I'm saying? Look, cut down some trees, make a log cabin. You know what I'm saying? If there's a river by there, you know what I'm saying? They can make firewood. keep buckets of water, and make a tree nursery, and then have these people just make long trails of orchard type of trees. You know what I'm saying? Or make forests of grapes. You know what I'm saying? Or fields of corn. I mean, yeah, the earth needs more farmers. It needs more like Indians and cowboys. Like, you know what I'm saying? Or, a cowboy is just another fancy way for, he's a specialized shepherd in a way. Because he's just looking after these herds of animals. And I mean, once again, and it helps you to have the earth full of animals, man. I mean, even their shit, the animal shit, even though it stinks to us, it helps make the plants grow better later down the road. Same thing. You could start off on this mission I'm talking about, just planting trees everywhere, dude. Listen, you're not even going to see the fruits of your labor until either the end of your life or you might not see it. But that's something you can leave to your grandchildren, not just your grandchildren, just to mankind. And it makes the world a better place. People don't have to fight over resources because just, hey, go out to the places where no one else wants to go and go get there could be the poor, the orchards for the poor. Or you could just have people going in remote places, on the edge of remote places, and listen, build a well. Build a well where there's not very much water, dude. Just build one and leave it for the travailing people or whatever, dude. I'm just saying. I mean, if you could get in touch with what's important, the oxygen, which comes from the plants, you know what I'm saying? And then you see how the animals eat the trees, they kill the trees, but yet they also spread the seeds around. You know what I'm saying? So everything is working together. You got to take some and give some, take some, give some. I mean, it's just, that's the way these things work. And it's not, I'm not trying to worship the earth. It's just to be a good steward of things. That's really what you got to go back to the basics, man. It's like water, air, food, and shelter. You know what I'm saying? And think people, just they don't, they're detached to it, man, because we be given the artificial matrix structure by design, so they can take it away, and then everyone's gonna uh basically just, they're not gonna be able to make it the way that people have always made it. It's just like it happened in the Dark Ages, where Rome was around for a while, and they had all this water coming. That was part of being down with Rome. At least if you lived in Rome, there was water running through the aqueducts. But after that shit fell apart, people were looking back at that like, and they're fetching their water from buckets and walking for miles again, and they couldn't reconstruct the aqueducts again because they didn't possess the knowledge to understand. You know, same thing here. It's just like you could go and just, why isn't there wells? You know what I'm saying, for free water? You know what I'm saying? I think that should be just part of just doing your part. You know what I'm saying? Is doing things like this, tending to things like make it, tending to them for the better of benefit of you, mankind, for the animals, the earth. I mean, you can think that way. You know what I'm saying? And the people could live that way, but I don't think they don't want that. And just the fact that if you ask for that and they will not provide it for you shows you that it's restricted. They don't want free roaming people like that can survive, that are truly independent. That's what I think true independence is being able to go off the grid. Or here's another example, like going down in a plane somewhere, being left somewhere remote, and if you can survive there, that's where you'll reconnect with what's really important, kind of like food, shelter, and water, man. And then your oxygen quality, because I mean, there's even, like, say you got stranded on top of a volcano where the oxygen quality sucked, or way up in the high altitude of the mountains where your lungs will bleed out and die. You know what I'm saying? That's oxygen. You know what I'm saying? You take it for granted. We all do. You know what I'm saying? Because it's been made so available to us, but then again, it's not. It's not inclusive. It's restrictive, and it's kind of it's meant to kill your ability to be mobile. You know what I'm saying? Because if you could go from stream to stream to stream, you could travel and you'd be straight. You know, you wouldn't need nothing. But you know what I'm saying? It's just you just have to have the want to stay alive. You know what I'm saying? Just uh to keep you going. I mean, because yeah, all you got to worry about, man, is just eating enough food and then drinking enough water and then just being warm enough, man, at night. And there's different ways you can get by that. You could actually you live pretty dope. You know what I'm saying? Just living all like hobo. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying Lobo, where you're like sleeping in a box in a corner of a city outside of the liquor store. That's not what I'm talking about here. I'm talking about just like uh uh I don't know, man, just getting away from people, man, and just trying to enjoy things, you know, so you don't have to get caught up in all this nonsense that goes on these days. It'd be nice just to be able to just go camp out for a few days anywhere. Like, and listen, I mean, here's the thing: you don't have to go advertise it to people. How do people even know any better? Because I mean, they'll be looking down at you like, "Oh man, I feel bad for you, man." But I mean, it's like when you look back at the people, it's like, man, I feel bad for you too because you're kind of, you know, you're comfortable and it's like the rat wheel. When you get off the rat wheel, you go in your puffy ball of wood cuttings. You know what I'm saying? You get comfortable in that little aquarium. You know what I'm saying? And it's like people don't realize that it's just as bad as having cord plugged into the back of your head sometimes, that you get comfortable in your surroundings to where you won't venture out. You're already kind of institutionalized to your environment. And I mean that's by design. Cause I mean I realize it's like I watched how I seen how they fucking made a mountain of buffalo skulls, and then they made it in the shape of a giant pyramid with that was uncapstone. And when I seen that, I was like, man, that's fucking evil. And they did that just to genocide the Indians. They had to genocide the buffalo, you know, and it also, and since they made that pyramid without the capstone, and that's Illuminati. That's what their one of their MOs is that we will build pyramids atop of the former inhabitants' bones. And you even look at like there's cities in Europe that under the ground it's literally foundations of bones. Uh, so and this that's the whole serpent eats its own tail, the phoenix dying and being reborn. It's the same. It's like a ritual, you know. It's that's the Ordo ab Ko, and they don't want people being free. You know what I'm saying? They want the earth to wither away because it helps with their depopulation, and then on the other side of it, then come back in with their Monsanto GMO monstrosities and start to rewrite the earth in a new image. You know what I'm saying? I think that's part of it. Like people don't understand. They kind of want they want to. It's like you know, it is planetary reset where they kind of almost want to reconstruct it. Like, listen, they'll leave the machine alive, then the machine will take programmable matter and reconstitute these people here on the other side of great cataclysm, and they can be like gods. It could be Adam and Eve again. You know, that's how crazy it is. So I mean, they want this thing to fall. I mean, they are. It's like you see all these accidental environmental disasters on purpose, like dumping coal in rivers. We've seen it in Virginia. You got cistern in the water. That's nuclear contamination in Ohio. I just heard how they said that someone in Flint drank some bottled water and their hair started to fall out. And I'm like, how in the hell does that happen? What kind of disease makes your hair fall out? So there's definitely a lot of environmental accidents on purpose, and it's part of the it's the whole theosophist. They want to get rid of 90% of the population for the new age to come about, and it's like basically a giant blood sacrifice, an eco-fascist sun cult blood sacrifice. You know what I'm saying?